Easter Stories with Jolly. This lesson is for lower elementary, kindergarten through second grade. Today's lesson is Jesus is risen, and our verse is He is not here, for He has risen. Matthew 28:6. Jesus is risen. The members of the Sanhedrin convinced the Roman government and many Jewish people that Jesus was not the Son of God, and He needed to be crucified. Jesus knew His crucifixion was part of God's plan for Him to save the world from their sins, so He did not fight back. He was arrested, questioned, beaten, spit upon, and then hung on a cross until He was dead. Just after He died, the ground began to shake, graves burst open, dead people lived again, and the veil in the temple ripped from top to bottom. Everyone knew something incredible had just taken place, but the people were confused. Those who believed Jesus was the Son of God were sad and didn't understand why He had died. Those who did not believe were angry at Jesus, happy that He was dead, and a little unsettled at all that had taken place. No one really knew what was going on at all. Joseph of Arimathea had requested Jesus' body so he could give Him a proper burial. Joseph had to hurry because it was almost time for the Sabbath to begin, and he was not allowed to work on the Sabbath. Preparing the dead would have been considered work and could have gotten him in a lot of trouble. He hurried and wrapped Jesus' body in linen cloths and placed it in a tomb. Then he rolled a large stone in front of the opening. The members of the Sanhedrin requested that the governor place guards near the tomb to be sure that no one stole Jesus' body. Several women had been with Jesus at the cross. They, like Joseph of Arimathea, also wanted to be sure to give Jesus a proper burial, so they watched from far off to see where Joseph had taken His body. They were going to return after the Sabbath to clean His body and pour oils and perfumes on Him the way that most bodies were prepared for burial. As soon as the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Salome, who married a man named Zebedee, and a lady named Joanna gathered spices, oils, and headed to the tomb where Jesus had been placed. Just before they arrived at the tomb, there was a great earthquake. An angel of God came down from heaven, rolled away the stone, and then sat upon it. The guards trembled in fear and then passed out on the ground. As the ladies walked closer, they could see a man dressed in white sitting on the stone. They did not know he was an angel, but he was so bright they had to look away. They were very frightened. The angel told them not to be afraid. The angel knew why they were there. He asked them why they were looking for someone who was alive in a place for a person who was dead. Jesus was no longer there. He had risen. He told them to go find the disciples and tell them that Jesus had risen from the dead. The ladies turned and headed back to Galilee to get the disciples. When the Roman guards came too, they rushed to tell the members of the Sanhedrin what had happened. The Sanhedrin didn't want anyone to know these things, so they gave the guards a lot of money and told them to tell everyone who asked that the disciples stole Jesus' body while they were asleep. The guards agreed to keep their secret, and even though it was a lie. The ladies turned and headed back to Galilee to get the disciples. Along the way, the ladies met Jesus on the road. Jesus was alive, and He was right there with them. They were so excited, and they fell to His feet to worship Him. Jesus told them to go into Galilee and tell the disciples He would see them soon there. The ladies left to find the disciples. When Mary found the disciples, they were all hiding, scared of what might happen to them. They were afraid of what the Sanhedrin might try to do to them. They didn't know what to do. Mary told them that Jesus was alive, and she had been with Him and talked to Him. The disciples did not believe her. They did not believe what she was telling them. Peter and John jumped up and ran as fast as they could to the tomb where Jesus had been buried. John was the first one to arrive at the tomb, but he did not go in. Then Peter arrived and ran right inside. Peter could see the cloths that had been wrapped around Jesus' body. They were still in the shape of a man's body, but Jesus was gone. Peter ran back out of the tomb, wondering what had happened. When John saw the cloths, he knew Jesus had risen, just as he said he would. Peter and John rushed back to tell the other disciples what they had found. Where were the ladies going right after the Sabbath ended? To the tomb. What were the ladies' names? Mary, Mary Magdalene, Salome, and Joanna. Who rolled the stone away? An angel. What happened to the guards? They passed out. What did the angel tell the women to do? Go tell the disciples that Jesus had risen. Who did the women run into on the road? Jesus! What were the disciples doing when Mary found them? Hiding. Which two disciples ran to the tomb? Peter and John. Which disciple ran into the tomb? Peter. What did the disciples find in the tomb? The cloths in the shape of a man. Printing practice with our letters of the day. A is for angel. O is for oil. Z is for Zebedee. Activity number 1, taking shape. When Peter ran into the tomb, he found the cloths that had been wrapped around Jesus. They were still in the shape of a man. Look at the pictures below and see if you can match the items with their shape on the other side. Okay, the first item we're looking for is a car. This top word is car. Can you all find the shape that looks like it is a car? There it is. Okay, our next word is corn. Let's look at all of these shapes and see which one could be corn. Here it is. Okay, our third word is turkey. Turkey's going to be this thing on the top up here. It's like a Thanksgiving turkey. Our next word is frog. Can you find the frog? Here it is. The next one says cupcake. Which one of these shapes is a cupcake? This one right here. And our last word is bed. Can you find the shape of the bed? There it is. Great job. Cursive practice. A is for angel. O is for oils. Z is for Zebedee. Now it's time for our crossword puzzle. We're going to answer these questions and put those answers in the boxes in our puzzle. The first set of questions are the questions that are going to go up and down. So question number 1, we're going to look for the box that has a number 1 above it, and that's where we will put that answer. The first question says, who rolled the stone away? When Mary and the other ladies went to the tomb, who was there to roll the stone away? It was an angel. So we're going to write angel right here. A-N-G-E-L. Okay, our next question. Who told the disciples that she had seen Jesus? Who was the lady who told the disciples? It was Mary. So we're going to write the name Mary in the boxes under the two. M-A-R-Y. Question number 3. Which disciple went into the tomb? 2 disciples ran to the tomb, but only one went in. Who did that? Peter. P-E-T-E-R. Question number 4. What was the angel sitting on? Remember? He was sitting on the stone. So in the box under 4, S-T-O-N-E. Okay, now we're going to do the questions going across. So we're going to look for 5 across. And that question, where was Jesus buried? In a tomb. T-O-M-B. Question number 6. Who passed out near the tomb? The guards passed out. G-U-A. We have the R. D. And we have the S. Okay, question 7. Which disciple was first to arrive at the tomb? 2 ran to the tomb. 1 got there first. Who was that? That was John. J-O-H-N. And the last question, the angel said, he is not here. He has what? He has risen. We have the R, I, S, we have the E, and N. Good job, guys. Now it's time for something serious to think about. The early bird gets the worm. Have you ever heard anyone say that? People usually say this when someone misses out on something because they are late. Birds search for food to eat, so the first bird to find a worm gets the worm. If a bird doesn't get out there and look for worms, they might miss out on finding one. This is a little like our story because Mary and the other ladies went as soon as they could to prepare Jesus' body for burial. The laws of the Sabbath wouldn't allow them to do anything for an entire day, but as soon as the Sabbath was over, they were headed to the tomb to do the work. Because these ladies went as soon as they could, they saw the angel. They spoke to the angel. They saw Jesus, and they spoke to him. The disciples didn't get up early to do this, and they missed out on seeing things first. The women weren't waiting to see what would happen next. They didn't let anything keep them from doing what they thought needed to be done. They didn't waste any time. They kept worshiping and honoring Jesus even in death. In our story today, the early birds didn't get the worm. The early birds got to see Jesus right after he rose from the dead. I'll take that over worms any day. It's almost time for us to go, but before we do, we're going to pray about it. Dear God, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you for sending Jesus to die on the cross to pay for my sins. Thank you for loving me enough to have that plan. Thank you for letting him rise again 3 days later, just as he said he would. Please help me to never forget what Jesus went through so I can be with you in heaven for all eternity. Please help me to share the news of his death, burial, and resurrection everywhere I go because the world needs to know. Help me to do my part to help others learn about you and your love for them. Please be with anyone who doesn't realize that they are a sinner who needed Jesus to die to pay for their sins. Help them to realize that their sins are something they can't pay for on their own. Please help me remember that my job is to help them understand that Jesus died for them just as much as he died for me. Help me want to share the love of Jesus everywhere I go. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, that's it for today. If you'd like to find more Jesus Stories with Jolly, or even a printable version of this story, look for us on Teachers Pay Teachers, JesusStoriesWithJolly.com, or you can find Jesus Stories with Jolly books on Amazon. Until next time, Jolly loves you.